gonna be sharing exactly how I've been able to visualize and get exactly what I wanted without any gimmicks or any sort of things like that. Now, everybody, when they talk about visualization, they're gonna watch a bunch of different self-help books and Bob Proctor and all these sort of things, and just think that it's just magically gonna happen. It's just magically gonna come out of nowhere. It could be true, but most of the times, it's gonna take two things. And those two things are gonna be being able to distinguish what belongs and what does not belong. Now, before we get into the specifics of everything, I wanna tell you how I was able to do this my own self. I'm gonna throw up a picture on the screen here. This is a text message from me and my friend, and I was literally telling him how I'm gonna go to these places, and within, I believe, 2 short months I was already there. People are gonna tell me, oh my god, Andreas, like, you staged this, whatever. No, here's the dates, here's the time. What's amazing about this is that I have a log of a bunch of times I've been able to visualize and see it come into reality. As you know, everything on this earth, everything that you see physically was once in your imagination. Believe it or not, this microphone that's right next to me, somebody imagined creating a microphone, and there it became, manifested up into the physical world. Now, I'm not like most of these people that, they just get a prompt and they tell you a bunch of things. I've actually done this myself, and that's why I want to share it with you, because I know it works. I'm not here preaching something that I have not done, and that is the main theme of this entire channel, is sharing insights that have benefited me in my life, and I've been able to implement currently and continue to do so. That is the basis of learning things like these. It's not just to hear them and then go in one ear and go out the other. It's to actually implement them. So the first thing you want to do is create a blueprint, create an exact outlook for your vision, everything that belongs in it. And you want to be ultra specific with it. If you want to have a nice woman, add that in there. If you want to have a nice car, this and that. If you want things outside of material things, spiritual things, a renewed mind, wisdom to be able to keep the things that you have and multiply it over and over. Things that don't matter what happens in the outer world, that they're always internally in you. These mindset shifts. That is also stuff you could put in there. The A through Z. Everything you want, you put it in there. And this is what you're gonna let be the GPS for your life, the roadmap for your life. It either is going towards that destination or it's not. As one of my mentors said, and shout out to him, I've learned so much from him. He told me that your subconscious mind is always recording. The recording screen is always on, meaning that whether you want to admit it or not, the people you're surrounding yourself with are influencing you to behave a certain way. The music you listen to is influencing you to behave a certain way. The people you follow on social media, we could go on and on and on. Your surroundings influence your thoughts, your behavior, everything. So if it's happening by default, if the recording system is on, whether we want it to be or not, why not be intentional about it and let it guide us towards where we want to go? Let it guide us to that dream life. God touches on this a lot. There's a verse in the Bible where it says, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. What this verse means is exactly what I've been trying to say, is that those that keep the vision, those that stay true to the vision, happy are they. But the second you let go of that vision, everything goes out the window. It's like throwing away trash in the trash bin. That's what's really happening. You want to be able to be in control of your life, be in control of the direction of your life. You may not be able to control every certain little aspect of that happens to you, but know that if you do these certain things, you eventually will lead on to that, right? Now, you've heard of countless celebrities doing this. Everybody is telling you to manifest, manifest, manifest. But there's two sides to the equation of manifesting. The Bible displays it perfectly. You see that his faith and his actions were working together. And his faith was made complete by what he did. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness, and he was God's friend. You see that a person is justified by what he does and not by faith alone. As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. Meaning that it's the combination of both. The action with the visualization. They work together. It is like husband and wife acting as one. This is so powerful because you can't just be imagining and it just magically happens. There's some instances where that happens, but if you really want to rig all the odds to your success, It's visualizing it and practicing it day in and day out until it's there. Until just one day you wake up like me in Dubai 2 months later after we said that, in Bali, traveling the world, right? Just magically like that. That's how God works. And that is the beauty of the human imagination, the power we all have within. It is said by Neville Goddard that one of the most powerful things we display within us is our human imagination.
But when you discover this creative power within yourself, you will boldly assert the supremacy of imagination and put all things in subjection to it. When the man speaks of God in man, he is totally unaware that this power called God in man is man's imagination.
Everything that has been brought into this earth has been imagined before it was brought. Apart from having the blueprint, it's your surroundings, it's being conscious of everything. After those two things are in place, the third thing that I would say is the consistency behind it. No matter what you see in the present reality, stay true to it, and you'll just be so surprised what you end up manifesting, what ends up happening in your life. Don't ever quit, and don't ever let go of your vision, because that is where your faith is tested. That is where you're gonna see your true colors. So even look up the Aramaic translation of abracadabra. It is created as I speak it. So think about it. Think about it in the first book of the Bible. When the first chapter of the Bible, when they're describing how the earth and the heavens were created, how did God create it? You want to extrapolate the principles from the Bible and use it in your own life. How did God create this physical realm? Well, he started speaking it to existence. That principle of speaking it to existence aligns with the vision, and it makes it all coincide together. It's so crazy that people would just say abracadabra without being conscious of the meaning behind it, without being conscious of the translation behind it, and seeing how it connects to so many different avenues than just magic, right? God himself was doing this, and God was laying down the example for people like us to also partake in this, because this is something that's readily available to all of us. We just have to be conscious of it. So I'm trying to raise everybody's awareness so that they're able to not be hating their life, not be victimizing themselves, complaining of how their life played out, and thinking that it's outside of their control, thinking that it's outside of their grasp. It is more within your grasp that you're even able to imagine. It is so easy to do these things once you have mastered them. I want to share another story. This is a funny one. This was when I was, I don't know, like 12 or 13. I was obsessed with Young Thug at the time. Don't ask me why. Maybe because his acronym stands for Truly Humble on Your Job. But yeah, those were some interesting times. I was literally listening to his new album that had just dropped back in those days, and I was bumping it on my way to the mall. And guess who I end up seeing instantly when I walk in? Young Thug. I got a picture to show proof. Always had a drip since I was a little kid, and just like that, visualized it, manifested it, and boom, it happened. So this principle is always at work in your life. So I want you to hijack it and use it always in your life for whatever you want to use in your life. And maybe, just maybe, you might wake up getting everything you wish for. So I often get asked, how did I learn these things? How did I develop this mindset? Well, I'll tell you this. It wasn't by books, funnily enough, even though I'm phrasing some and referring to some. It was through human experience. I lived it. And there's certain things that you can't learn by reading. There's some lessons that can only be taught in blood. And what that means is that as much times as you could read something, you don't know it until you really, really go through it. And that's what I did, right? I've had my ups and downs, and I've learned way more from my downs than my ups. And there's been times where, business was slow. I didn't know what was going to happen the next month. I had to make something happen. I had to come out on the other side. I had to roll that dice and hit a 6 on both sides. A lot of people don't know what that's like because they're living in a comfortable reality. They have a safety net that they're always keeping there, because that safety net is really their fear stemming in their mind, staying there. They need a safety net because, I'm gonna be on the street if I don't, right? But those that risk it all can come out on the other side. High risk, high reward. The high risks that I've taken in my life, well, I'm young, right? And these are the best periods of my life where I could take them. Now, I'm not telling you to do a bunch of crazy stuff, but you should be doing high risk in your business if you're fortunate enough to have the courage to start a business. Most people don't got the courage to even take that first step. But if you're one of the few, select few, that does take that first step and does work on themselves and does choose to chase after their dreams, you're gonna learn a lot of lessons on the way. There's only one thing that's certain in life, and that's that we learn from what we do. We learn from our experiences. And the main experience I would say that taught me about this was when I had lost a lot of my net worth due to crypto and crashing out with way too many females that I should have been messing around with that were no good for me, but we'll keep that for another time. But yeah, let's just say my dopamine levels were very, very high. I was enjoying myself in all realms. It felt like the lottery. But yeah, you gotta lose it all to regain it all sometimes. That, I wouldn't trade any part of it. It's like the rebirth cycle. You get it, you lose it, and then you get it. And now the second time that you get it, now you know what to do with it. That is very much so my journey. I came from nothing, started a very successful business very quickly. As quick as it comes, as quick as it can leave you. Boy, oh boy, I was very dumb. Made some very dumb decisions, but I was young. They call me Mr. Two Times for a reason. Comeback kid. I was able to come back from that and learn a lot from that. And I won't trade anything from that, because the amount of wisdom that I gained from this experience made me who I am today. Like the saying says, everything happens for a reason. This is the one ultimate truth that I know is true. I know. If there's one thing I can tell you that's true, outside of from all the other things I said in this video, it's that everything does happen for a reason. We're here now, and I'm so grateful for it all. And I'm gonna get way more deeper into the details of all these stories. And I wanted to touch on my short rebirth cycle, right? The hero's journey, so to say. I've had my experiences of that. I'm just sharing the wisdom I've collected to see if these seeds will grow in your mind and you'll be able to use these seeds, because everything's happening for a reason, right? Might as well rig the odds in your favor. Let's get it.